Peyton.
I talk shit about Lily Tino and I get hate comments. The most I-
When evil twinks go too far.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, X group does not deserve basic respect because of
back bullying. We fucked up as a society when we said no bullying, that's not okay. No, we don't bully things for
Stop. Anyone could put on glasses and say whatever they want to the internet. But how far is too far?
Peyton, Pyper. Let's talk about it.
It's the most I've ever gotten. I click on the profile, it says they, them, zog stuff. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm a bitch.
Who even is Peyton Pyper, first of all? From what I've gathered from both TikTok and Instagram, as someone who lives, breathes, and eats social media, is that Peyton Pyper began his start doing these sort of rage bait type of videos with some sort of ridiculous take and then sort of like justify it. I know for a fact that Peyton Pyper has a sort of cult following of people who appreciate the fact that he's like their diva, like he's super, what's the word for it? That he is super blunt, sort of that he's got a little bit of spunk, a little bit of sass, I suppose. I think from my experience, the way social media is going, this type of content is not only good for engagement farming, but it's a very easy way to sort of reach a wide variety of people just by rage baiting and sort of fueling people to provide their takes in the comments down below. My problem with this is there has to be a certain point where these types of videos just go too far. For example, let's look at this.
Bring back bullying. We fucked up as a society when we said no bullying, that's not okay. No, we don't bully things for maybe bully me, jail. No, I said we don't bully people for, oh my god, we don't bully people for things that are normal, but that shit's not normal. And if you think it's normal, you need to be put in the institution too.
Alright, on surface level, it seems like a pretty harmless take, and it's something that has been commonly shared with a lot of people. Bring back bullying. The thing about this, though, is I think it's one of those things where you kind of just, like, have to, like, experience it to believe it. I know as someone who grew up being bullied, I know it seems like a lot to put on an audience, but it doesn't really affect me today. I'm chill. At least I think I am. That's something for my therapist. But yeah, I think as someone who has gotten bullied in the past, I think it does affect you. And we sort of saw poetic justice in a sense, because as soon as he uploaded that video, people began bullying him really bad. I wouldn't necessarily describe it as poetic justice, it just sort of shows my point, the fact that you're always like gonna advocate for something to go back to one way when it doesn't directly affect you, but once it affects you, you kind of realize that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Real, just between you and me, I don't naturally speak like this. I am technically trained to do this because I used to do extemporaneous speech, but I kind of have to force it to kind of sort of make myself sound cohesive, which is something I haven't done in a while because I'm always usually like la 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 la, you know, whatever. But these are serious topics, so I think that brings us on to our next point. Peyton's main controversy. You've been waiting for it, Lily Tino.
Gender is like the inside filling of a donut. You can't tell what's on the inside just by looking at the outside. Let's take this jelly-filled donut, for example. Usually donuts that look like this are
Lily Tino. Lily Tino is a trans woman content creator who is based in San Francisco, I believe, and she gained notoriety for her controversial videos as well as live streams, and I believe she got misgendered at a Disney park. That's all I've seen about her, honestly. But how she relates to Peyton Pyper is Peyton Pyper made this video.
I wish I met Lily Tino in person so I could misgender him. Like pointing the camera at people. Are you gonna say that to the camera? What's your name? Yes, I will. Lily Tino, you're a man. My name is Peyton. What's up?
This video definitely sparked a mass engagement, so to say. And a lot of people were defending Peyton Pyper and were like, well, Lily Tino is a terrible person, so we should have the right to misgender her. But a lot of members of the LGBT community brought up this point, the fact that even though someone's a bad person, we should still respect their pronouns, which I do think is true. Because a contra argument to that brought to you by the conservative grifters was the fact that Lily Tino is just pretending to be transgender, which it's sort of like, I think that sentiment, and especially kind of coincides with growing transphobia in society, and that eventually will, and I know from what I know, Peyton is part of the LGBT community. I am too, and I think it's something that, if not contained, will eventually spread over to the rest of the community. And it's already being implemented today with the rollback of rights by the Trump administration and stuff like that. So, as I had mentioned, I believe that this discourse about Lily Tino represents a growing rise of conservatism, and it is very concerning. Say what you want about Lily Tino, she's a bad person, she's terrible representation. She still, at the end of the day, deserves to be respected and called by her pronouns. And I do believe that people intentionally misgendering her is very harmful and is disrespectful. Rightfully so, with the mass public outcry, Peyton Pyper's page was temporarily removed from TikTok, I believe. But here's the thing. Hate to break it to you, he's back. I was gonna say with a vengeance, but he hasn't done anything worse than he's already did so far, so he's sort of just kind of there right now, in my opinion. From what I've seen, I checked his page, it's mostly just re-uploads of his old videos, and all those videos are still available on Instagram Reels, so it's really not like he left or anything. With that being said, I think this is a good point to sort of close the conversation, sort of say, because I just covered a very baseline of what Peyton Pyper is known for, as well as controversies. There are other videos on it by trans content creators who have a lot more to say on this than I do, especially since I am not transgender, so I do not have as much of a voice on the discourse as trans people do. But anyways, next week we will be talking about controversial fellow grifter, I should say, Ollie London, who has caused controversy from London to Seoul. And I think that's going to be a very interesting video to dive into. So I really look forward to it. But with that being said, I am pleased to announce the announcement, I know it's a lot, of a new series on my channel. We are going to be calling this The Undesirables of TikTok. Now, by undesirables, of course, I mean polarizing figures. I'm sure somebody likes them. Not me personally, but you know, that's for another day. We're going to be discussing figures, controversial, anywhere from, as this person I've mentioned, Peyton Pyper, all the way to the final boss, Jeffree Star. This is going to be a series that I'm actually very excited to do. There's going to be some other fun stuff along the way that's unrelated, but I really enjoy this form of content, and I'm actually having a lot of fun doing it, and I feel like there's structure to it, rather than my yapping vlogs. So that's a nice change of pace, at least until I go back to school. Anyways, as always, I really appreciate your love on the GG Jarvis video, and I hope to make videos like this in the future. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, so I can make more money. Bye, hugs and kisses.